Hi, welcome to Osvaldo Ribeiro Filho Photography. In today's video, I decided to do something a little bit different. Instead of talking just about, camera gear, photographs, I decided to talk a little bit about some stories behind my lens.
No retreat, there's nothing behind me. We have no choice, we'll never surrender. No retreat, there's nothing behind me. We have no choice, we'll never surrender.
So, as my first story, I will talk a little bit about this photograph, which I know you guys can't see it properly because of the light and so on, but I will put an image for you guys to see, and about this specific place that I've been. Back in 2013, I decided to go for a little adventure. Yes, let's call that. I went to one of the most driest areas in Brazil. We call it Sertão. And there are places that is like so dry, they only receive rain in like once every couple of years, once every 4 years. I went to this trip for like 13 days and I went and I visited so many amazing people. But the story, it is about this gentleman on this photograph. His name is Gurandi. He's a very simple man, and he lives in a land where it hasn't rained for over like 5-6 years. Politicians, they don't care, they didn't care about them. They never did care. So that's the thing. People get me like angry with me because I always talk bad about politicians, but they never care about the people. They only care when it's election day. And this gentleman, he kind of like prohibited any politician to come to his land. That's how bad it was. His land was just, basically sand. There was basically like 20 families living with him in this huge land, and was just sand. You see, like barely any trees. You see barely any people. You just see sand. And it's a shame because, it's a very beautiful place, but there's no water. And a lot of people have been like fleeing that area because they had no water. No water meaning no plantation. No plantation means hunger. So I went with a friend of mine, Mr. Walter. I will show his picture somewhere around here. To visit, because he's been doing a voluntary job and been helping these people from this land, which Mr. Gurandi works. And we went there. And as I got there, we were going there like through like sand and earth. It was like roughly around 6-ish in the morning. And that's where I took this picture. And I was like, before I took this picture, I actually said, no, stop. And I was like, there's something that I can do as a photographer, which is show the lack of hope in a picture and make it look beautiful. So that's where I stopped and took this picture, as you guys see. And, the sun was about to start rising. It was something magical. And then we arrived where this 20+ family lived, where the community leader was Mr. Gurandi. He came there, he greeted us there, we had a few food for him, so we gave him some food. And he was a very simple man, very humble, simple man. And he was showing me around and this and that. And then like my friend of mine, Walter, told me, we have came with a specific person who specialized finding deep underground water. And he found a place, but the problem is we need money. should do that. But we are trying to, you know, work things out so that we can do our digging in and we can find some water so that these families may live their life, right? So as I'll look around and say, well, next time I'll be here, I will see a big 25-meter pool of mineral water that comes from this hole. My guide, Walter, he left. He looked at me kind of like, whoa, really? Then he's like, you gotta have some really strong faith, my brother. And he's like, well, that's what I say. And then we kind of like decided to go up that hill, and we went around and see, and that's where I took this picture. It was inside of a house on top of the hill. It was an abandoned house because the family who lived there, they left it because they didn't have any water to survive. And so I went inside because I've never been into this type of houses, which is made of mud. Basically, that's what it's made of. So when I went inside, I saw him, and he was kind of like, with his very like wisdom eyes, kind of like showing me around and so on. And that's why I took his picture. A very humble, very simple man. And with a lot of hope, because he believed that, you know, they're gonna find a lot of good water for him. So then, you know, I left, I went to other places and so on. 6 months later, I received this video.
Deu quanto mil litros deu? 36? 36 mil litros d'água por hora.
From my friend of mine, Marcos. And honestly, it broke my heart. I started crying like crazy. I was like, wow, they finally found the water well, which brought out roughly about 30,000 liters per hour, or roughly 10,000 gallons per hour. In a place which has not seen rain in over 6-7 years, that water was gold. And the first person that Mr. Gurandi called is like, where's that photographer? Talking about me. And as I was like cleaning up my tears, I was like, wow, you know, we meet people with such a humble heart, and we don't know what we do as, like, you know, when we see them remembering us. Because as photographers, we have to hide our feelings. And I was like, my heart was like really in tears of desperation, because I really wanted, you know, to do something about it. But I did. Before I actually left the Northeast, I gave some photographs to my friend Marcos, and they could find exactly where the place was. And once they found it, they will be able to help them and build a well. And now they actually do have a little river, and that river actually, you know, helps them to build their crops, have their family, so they don't have to leave that area no more. If you guys like these stories that I'm, you know, telling you, please do subscribe to my channel, help this channel grow, because since YouTube has changed the regulations, it means that I cannot make any money until I get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys love my work, if you guys been following my Facebook page, please do subscribe to my channel, help support this channel. And if you guys, you know, wanna have any comments or anything that you want me to share here, please write it down right below. And once again, subscribe to the channel and subscribe to my Facebook page. And I'll see you guys next time.